Warning, the following audio transmission will forever change your outlook on society. You will no longer believe the narrative. You are about to wake up and see things for what they really are. News, facts, and opinions. This is the Doom Daily Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Doom Daily Show. I am your host, Jester Dooms. The email, doomdailyshow@gmail.com. The website, www.jestersvoice.com. Go to the website, leave us an audio message at the top of the page. While you're there, pick yourself up a t-shirt, an apocalyptic apparel t-shirt, everywhere on social media at Jester Dooms. I hope all of you are having a great Thursday morning. It is Thursday, March 19th, 2026. It's hard to believe we're this far into 2026 already, and so many things just keep going catastrophically wrong. But anyway, I hope all of you are having a good morning, whether it's you're taking the kids off to school, you're on your way to work, or if you're waking up to do nothing. Yeah. As you're listening to this, I will be off, out and about, dropping off everybody that needs to get dropped off. And then I will be plugging away at little projects on the homestead because I, in fact, have to get some things done today because I have some classes and I have to work a little bit over the weekend. So I'm not too thrilled nor excited for the weekend ritual. It's going to be brutal. I'm not going to see my family for about 36 hours straight. So I'm basically leaving the house Friday morning, and I will not be back till Saturday night. It is going to be a brutal fucking weekend. And then I have to turn around and kind of do the same thing again on Sunday morning. Yeah, it's going to be a lot, to say the least. I'm not super excited, but you know, it's kind of one of those things where it's like a consistent progression. Okay. And I've been having this internal struggle lately when it comes to trying to figure out what it is I want to do for the rest of my life. And we're going to talk about that on today's show, but yeah. Just spending the day mentally preparing myself for what's about to come and getting all of my ducks in a row to prepare to leave the house for 36 hours and basically be dog shit tired through the entire weekend. It's going to be a lot, to say the least. But I hope the rest of you have a fantastic weekend. I hope that it's good. Hope there's no problems or complications or any kind of craziness that pops up or arises. Yeah. I still haven't got back into the groove yet of covering news stories and keeping up with what's going on in the headlines or things that I find interesting. Like the motivation's just not there this week. I'm still trying to recoup from the 2 weeks that So What If my friend was in town. It's just, it was a lot. We did a lot, and I'm still in like recuperation mode. Yesterday, I slept the latest that I've probably slept in months. I went to bed late due to staying up on Alive and on St. Patrick's Day. And then I went to bed and I woke up and my wife had the day off and we basically just laid in bed for the morning. And I was like, I'm just not getting out of bed today. I think I'm going to spend the entire day in bed. And I didn't even get out the door and decide to be productive till about like 12:30, 1 o'clock. Yeah. It's just still trying to recuperate. And I know that I know that as soon as I get like my second wind of energy, when that comes back, it'll be off. I'll be off again, you know, into more shenanigans and doing more things. And then I'll be drained yet again. And then after some time rolls on here, my friend will be back in town and we'll be back at this madness again. So it's going to be a great, great time. Anyway, I hope everybody did have a fantastic St. Patrick's Day. I hope everybody was safe and didn't get any DUIs or drink and drive or do anything crazy. Okay, hope so. I don't know if we talked about that on yesterday's show or not, but just hope that everybody was safe and no complications. Okay, safe and no complications. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still trying to get back in the swing of things. I've just been absolutely drained mentally, physically, just absolutely drained. And it seems like there's always something going on. And it's like now we are in the process of planning a trip south, right? So we now have that going on, this southern trip that we're pre-planning, which is going to be a short trip. But, I'm the one that does all the driving. So it's kind of like shitty for me because I'm the one that's stuck doing this. Right. And it's not that my wife is incapable of driving. It's just if we want to get there, it's better that I just drive. So we'll see how it goes. And it's a very short trip. So 8 hours or 8 to 10 hours, get there and basically stay 1 to 3 nights. And then we'll be making the trip back. So it's a very short trip, but I think it's needed. I think that people really sell these little trips. I think they sell them short, like how recuperating they can be and what a good break from just the mundane tasks it is. I think so. Anyway, we'll be right back after these messages.
Need a break from reality? Well, sometimes I do too. And the place I go to take that break is the Beans and Weenie Show. You can find the link at linktree.com/BWD crew. The Beans and Weenie Show, where chaos and common sense wage war and you get a front row seat.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Doom Daily Show. I'm your host, Jester Dooms. The email, doomdailyshow@gmail.com. The website, www.jestersvoice.com. Everyone on social media @JesterDooms. If you haven't already, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the show. And give me that IRL and share this show out on all your social media platforms so they know what you're listening to. Help us grow the show that way. Okay. So I don't know. I don't want to use the big bad term of midlife crisis because that's not what I think is going on. But I'm at this crossroads of what the fuck do I want to do with my life? Like what do I want to do? So I have to put some backstory into this and put some context into this. For moving forward, it's not going to make much sense. Okay. So when I was growing up, my father had his own business. I started going to work with him when I was very, very little because we just didn't have a babysitter. And so I had to go with him to work. Okay. And he could do that because he was self-employed. So when I was little, like 5, 6 years old, he started teaching me the trade. Okay. And it started out by me doing little tiny things, carrying in different tools, handing him different tools, cleaning copper fittings, learning how to use a power drill to clean copper fittings, just all these little tasks he would assign me. And he would give me like little bits of money here and there, like, $5, $10, like little increments of money. So I had something to spend. So I felt like I was doing something good. Okay. And I saved my money and I bought something. I still have that something to this day from when I was really little. Okay. So growing up, I was always working for my father. That was the thing. And I did this for many, many years. Basically, even when the option of needing a babysitter didn't exist anymore, I wanted to make money, so I would go with him to work, and in the summer times when I was out of school, I would basically work every day. That's just how that worked. And because I wanted money, right? Like I wanted cash, I wanted money, I wanted to do things, right? And making money gives you the capability of doing stuff. So, it was when I became a teenager, maybe it was money because I wanted to go to the movies with a girl, or maybe I wanted just to go to the mall and walk around or like buy a new CD, whatever the crap thing was to do then is, I wanted the money to do that. And if you had to put a time frame on how long I did this, I mean, I basically, from the time I was 5 years old to the time I was about 20, I worked with my father. Pretty much when there wasn't a babysitter, pretty much every summer out of school, sometimes after school, like just any time I could, And so you got to think that's a good 15-year stint of kind of doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. All right. Now, something happened that there was a couple things that drastically turned me off to working with my father. Well, it's like kind of the fact of the matter of you're seeing them at home, you're seeing them at work, you're having enough of this one person. And I was way more ambitious than he was. Like in my mind, I'm like, dude, look, he's telling me you're going to take over this business one day, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, let me start making moves then. Let's get a second truck, put me out doing jobs on my own. Like, let's go. wanted no parts of the extra money that was going to go into expansion of this business. And it really wasn't a lot. It would have been a very simple thing to do. And like looking back on it in hindsight, the drastic amount of cost that he thought it was going to be to do this, we would have made back in no time. Like how quickly we would have been able to make that money back is like, it's sickening that we didn't do it. Right. And then, something happened at work one day and I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I said, if you need help, man, if you're like struggling, you can't get a water heater out of a basement, like you need physical labor. I said, just call me, dude. I'll show up. I said, I don't mind. I said, but I just can't do this with you anymore. And then there was the idea too of I'm also needing to make more money than what I was getting paid, and found out that he was paying other people more than me that knew less. And it was like a little kick in the teeth, right? It was like, this ain't working either, dude. I said, so if you need help with something, you call me, I'll come help you, but I don't even want to take your money anymore. Like I'm done. And, basically rolled on from there, went and worked some odd jobs and magically fell into a role where they taught me how to weld and become a welder. So at this time I was making the most money I had made in my life so far. So I said, this is great. Maybe I ought to pursue this as a career. I like it. I'm good at it. This is fine. So I went on to trade school and got my diploma and my certifications and everything I needed to actually hit the ground running and make some good money. At the time, all the good money was in the South. All right. Like that's just what it was. It was around the oil industry. That's where the money was. Everything had fallen off up north. So this led me to bounce around the country for a little while. I did pretty much everything in that line of work, except for, going with the underwater certifications and going that route. I mean, I did like a lot, even ran my own business for 5 years. And I'll tell you what, after doing it for 10 years, I started becoming really burnt out on it. It was not fun anymore. It was not exciting anymore, and I wanted to do something different, but I kind of kept going and going and going and going. And then something just a switch flipped in my brain one day that I was just like, okay, I'm done. I have to do something else. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm disgusted to go to work. It doesn't matter what I'm working on anymore. I'm hating life. I can't do this anymore. And I started getting into the law enforcement side of things, so many different avenues, but basically landed in private security contracting. Okay. And absolutely loved it. It was a very fun job, very high speed, like not high speed in the sense when we talk about the military guys high speed, but high speed in the sense that it's a forever changing environment. There's a lot of interaction. You're on a lot of different details. Like it's fast paced. Right? I shouldn't say high speed. I should say fast pace. And it was a good time. I really enjoyed it. And I would still be doing it. However, where I relocated to, the industry is vastly different and it sucks very badly. And I don't want to be in it anymore, given the area that I live in. So fast forward, I basically went to EMT school as a joke. Like it was free because of COVID. Went there just like, this would be something fun to do. My buddy's trying to talk me into it. And I'm like, sure, dude, let's go. Let's do it. And I went and I did it and really started enjoying the line of work. Okay. And now I'm starting to see the extra effort that's going into this. The shitty people you have to deal with, the shitty management, the asshole coworkers, the shitty patients, the continuing of education never ends. And it's a lot for a very shitty pay. Like that's the thing. And I had an epiphany a couple months ago. And the epiphany was, I am capable of making so much more money in other avenues and other facets, right? I really am. And if I would put 50% effort into the other things I can do in life, I could make double what I'm making with this, right? And even if I go down the route of doing everything that these people want me to do to secure good jobs and to do, everything to stick with state standards and everything else, it is still not more than what I could make with what I already possess. And I came to this weird conclusion that I'm literally trying to restart at ground zero when I've already made it to the finish line. Now, you have a lot of people out there talk about, what you need to be doing or what you should be doing. And we'll get to that right after this break.
Can't get enough of Jester Dooms?
check out his other show, It's Doomsday Podcast, available on all podcast platforms. That's It's Doomsday Podcast.
Back to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Doom Daily Show. I am your host, Jester Dooms. The email, doomdailyshow@gmail.com. Everywhere on social media @Jester Dooms. And go to the website, jestersvoice.com, and get yourself an apocalyptic apparel t-shirt. Okay. So what you should be doing, I absolutely hate this term. Like, you need to do this and you should do this and blah, 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 blah. Right? I've got people that are younger than me that have not accomplished as much as I have in life coming at me sideways, telling me things that I need to do to stay in this career field or progress in this career field. And I'm not saying they're wrong in the sense of continued education and becoming a better first responder and becoming a better provider. I mean, in that sense, they're absolutely right. But for me, it's different. I'm watching people that are younger than me trying to climb the mountain and get to the position I am in life, and I'm already there. And I'm restarting a career and being treated like a freaking child. And I'm also in an area where people are very indirect and they're very cliquish, okay? And it's absolutely disgusting, and it makes being employed very difficult, okay? But I look at some of the people that I work with on a daily basis and in different areas and just, different first responders in the area. And it's like, it's really bizarre, the two-facedness that takes place within this community, and just watching, low people on the totem pole talk shit. It's very bizarre. And it's like everybody's talking shit on everybody. Like everybody secretly hates each other. It's just a disgusting thing. And I'm not in a position to where I don't like that kind of shit. I really don't. Like, you have to be direct with people. You have to come correct. Lying, manipulating, and suckering people around, that's scumbag behavior. That's a shit mentality. So I had my radar on potentially going to get my paramedic, and that's like what my goal has kind of been. I don't think it's ultimately going to be worth it. I do not, because I don't want to work on an ambulance full time. I don't want to do that. It's not something I have a desire to do. I don't want to work for an EMS agency full time. I just do not. So it's almost like, what's the point? Like, I don't see a point in it. I really do not. And moving forward, it's like, well, what do you want to do? And I really don't have an answer anymore. I've been doing this podcast stuff for a while now. Okay. This all started in 2019, me being behind the microphone and just talking shit at the computer for I don't know how much time. And the hours I've amassed in this podcast arena are so many hours of audio. Okay. And this is something I do enjoy doing. And it's something I don't ever think I'll stop doing. I really, truly enjoy it. Now, some days are better than others. Some days I'm like, I don't want to get behind that microphone. I'm tired. I don't have the mental capacity. I don't want to do it. Other days I'm like excited to do the show, and I fucking hit that button and I just start going and I feel fantastic. But this isn't the kind of thing that pays the bills, unfortunately. Maybe one day it will. I don't know. So it's definitely led me down the road of wanting to pursue other things in the realm of this and other things that could be financially beneficial in this realm. And the sad truth is there's not like there's not job openings for this kind of shit. There really isn't. It's if you want to get into, radio, it's kind of, start at the ground floor and work your way into it. And I'm done wanting to restart. Okay. And then there's like this other thing where I want to travel and I want to do things that I don't want to be tied down. So like the best realm is to just be self-employed, right? Like that's the best possible outcome for the lifestyle I want to live. Do you know how many employers I've talked to for jobs, and like I have to let them know, upon hiring, like, hey, listen, I have to let you know, like I leave for a month every year. I go overseas and we visit family, and that's the one time a year we do it. So I'll be gone for a month. How many employers don't want to allow that to happen? Do you know how many employers I've had to tell, like, listen, I'm going regardless. Like, if I don't have a job when I get back, that's fine. Like, I'll find a new job. And it's just, I'm one of these people where I'll work more than one job at a time. right? And then I might take a hiatus for a while, and then I'll work more than one job at a time, or I'll remain part-time and take different positions as they come within the company. Like that's kind of what I've done over the years. And I kind of like doing that. It keeps things less stagnant. And now I'm in this position of, I think I want to get a few different businesses up and running, mainly to combat the boredom of one, but mainly to have the freedom, the financial freedom. Like there's things I want, man, you know, and things aren't free. So a lot of our drive for working is materialistic. Like you want something, you want it, you know, you need to buy it. You have to have a job to get the funding for that, right? So like, I'm back on my boat kick. I was telling my wife, I was like, I really want to get a boat this year. Like, I know I've been saying it for a while, but like, I really want to get a fucking boat, man. Like, I want to be spending summers on the damn boat, not on the shore staring at the boats that go by. Like, I want a fucking boat. And it's a need. It's not a want. I don't have to have it, right? It's not, I'm not going to not survive without a boat, but it's like, man, I want that. You know, like that's something that I've been wanting for years. You know, I've been on this I want a boat kick for 10, 15 years. And I just have been putting it off because it's not a need, it's a want. So I never, you know, essentially pulled the trigger on getting one. And I think that this year is actually going to be the year because I went ahead last year. Like I've been on this boat kick for a while and my wife's been very anti-boat kick. So last year I was like, let's rent a boat. Okay, let's rent a boat and go out. And she loved it. It was glorious. And it was like, yeah, I guess we can get a boat. It's like, okay. And we started shopping around and we kind of stopped. And it's like, now we're kind of shopping around again. But other financial things have came up where it's like, you know, maybe now's not the best time. We have this other thing we're hyper focused on and we need to spend money in this area, not this area, and blah, 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 and back and forth and blah, blah, blah. So now I kind of think we're in the position to where we might be able to get a boat. It's a possibility maybe we could get a boat. So that's kind of where we're sitting right now. Okay. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, don't get a boat that are a waste of money, blah, 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 this, that, the other. Look, if I go, I buy a used boat and it's paid off and I really don't have to do anything crazy except fix a few little broken things, change oil from time to time and take it out and enjoy it. That's fine. I'm not going to I don't want to get wrapped up in a payment. I don't want to go buy anything brand new. I want to buy something used that I can go out with and fish and swim and just have fun-filled days in the summer. Like that is what I want to do. It is that simple. Nothing more, nothing less. That's it. So, and how does one acquire funding not knowing what they want to do? And that's the struggle that I've had like recently is, you know, very recently, like I got classes coming up that I've got to do. And it's like, do I even want to pursue this anymore? I've been in like this weird position where like, I've just, you know, the agencies in my area have just left such a rotten taste in my mouth. It's like, I don't want anything to do with it. Like I really, truly do not. I would just like to avoid it and just not do it and find things that make me happy. But then here's the other thing, and this is what's really weird. When my employer screwed me the fuck over and I basically started sitting at home more frequently and found out how much I was missing out on, it's like, fuck. You know, I got so hyper fixated on everything that my employer was asking me to do and so hyper fixated on working these extra hours to appease people and, you know, trying to pull my own weight, so to speak, at my employer that I literally put all my wants and needs that I needed to do outside of work got put on hold. And now I'm finally getting some things done and you know, just, you know, kind of progressing and pushing forward. And it's like, hell, I'm getting to things now that I should have done 2 years ago. 3 years ago, right? And I don't want to be in that position again. Why would you want to put yourself in a position where you're just physically unable to do? That's the thing. And that's where I've been at with the realm of the employers and stuff. Like I'm physically unable to do because I'm buried under somebody's thumb all of the time. And I'm looking at, you know, some of the other people that work in the same field and it's like they don't have a lifestyle like this. Like, and why is that? Was I just doing it wrong? Do I just not understand the industry? Like, what the fuck is happening? So I don't know. At the end of the day here, I guess I'm just at this crossroads of what to do as far as, you know, do I pursue another career? Do I go back to being self-employed? Do I persevere and find other agencies in my area to work for? Like, what do you do? And then I look and I'm like, well, your clock's ticking over here, dude. Retirement's on its way here at some point. So you need to figure it the fuck out. And it's like, yeah, that's fucking very valid and fair point. I need to figure it the fuck out. And I think lately, just with the extra people we took into our house and just the extra stress that's been added, you can't think very clear because my days are filled up with what I have to do to make sure other people succeed and survive and not myself. And that's not okay. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this rant because that's what it was. A rant about I'm kind of lost, not knowing which direction to go in, knowing I need to do something, but don't know what the answer is yet. Anyway, we'll be back here with another exciting episode of the Doom Daily Show tomorrow. Producer Scooter, if you would hit that button, sir.
News, facts, and opinions. This is the Doom Daily Show.